My brother-in-law just told my wife that he's in love with her. Wait, hold on. My brother-in-law, which means your wife's brother, just told my wife he's in love with her. Her brother just told you that he's in... Do I want to read this? Am I understanding that correctly? This story first came out April 13th, 2024. Maybe it's not what the title's... Maybe it's not what it seems. Okay, I'm scared. Yesterday, my brother-in-law came out of the blue and asked my wife if she could meet him for lunch. There is something he needs to talk to her about. My wife tells me about it before accepting and asks if it might have something to do with my sister. Maybe they're having problems and he wants to discuss it with another woman. I find it odd, but I tell her to go find out. So she accepts and they meet for lunch at a place near her office the next day. That's where he tells her that he is in love with her. He lays it on thick. How beautiful she is, how she makes him feel, how he would treat her if she were his, how it was love at first sight, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, this man is, oh my God, okay. This man is married to my sister and has 2 kids. Y'all, I was so wrong. And thank God. Got it. Your brother-in-law is your sister's husband, but your sister's husband loves your wife. Got it. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. He and my wife had a friendly relationship. Our families see each other often as we are close to family. He does text her frequently, but there was nothing overly sexual. My brother-in-law texts and calls my mom too. So none of us thought anything of it. I want to stop a moment and emphasize that my wife is not cheating on me with him. My wife and I share an iPad and I see every one of their texts on there. We are also looking at each other's phones all the time, so none of that is going on. So she doesn't let him finish, walks out, and calls me immediately to tell me what happened. While she's on the phone with me, the texts from him start. He didn't mean it. He thinks it's only infatuation, blah, blah, blah. She leaves work early to come home to talk to me about this, and her phone is blowing up the entire time with calls and texts from him. I tell her to answer, and she puts him on speaker so I can hear. He is crying, begging not to tell my sister. What was his plan here?
I don't even have a plan.
I'm gonna drop this bomb on my brother-in-law's wife and hope she doesn't tell her husband and it doesn't get back to my wife, which is his sister. What did you expect to happen? That she would just divorce him quietly and then what? You guys can run away together and no one will ever find out? Hello? What a stupid plan. There clearly was no plan. Apparently, when we were together this past weekend, he thought that she was flirting with him and that he thought they had a moment when they were alone in the kitchen. Now, my wife is a major ball buster and I suppose I can see how that can be taken as flirting. He asks if she told me, to which I answer yes, as I am on speaker. Then he starts begging me. This went on for a while. My main question was whether he had cheated on my sister before. He said no, swearing on his kids' lives. It's just my wife, and he said that I should understand. So I'm done listening at that point, and I told him I wasn't going to do anything tonight and that I would call him tomorrow. That's where we are right now, and I really don't know what to do. My wife says drive over there right now and tell my sister, but the idea of wrecking my sister's family is killing me. Thinking about what it would do to my nieces, makes me want to vomit. Oh, there's kids involved. I know the right thing to do is tell my sister, but I am also thinking about my wife as well. It's not her fault, but there is sure to be some resentment towards her from my family. Even if my sister doesn't divorce him and they reconcile, I can't see how we are ever together again like we were before. If at all. This whole episode can tear my family apart. I don't give a shite about him. He tried to destroy my family, but I do care about everybody else. I don't know what to do. Any advice will help. I can understand every perspective, but I feel like sister's gotta know. Her husband admitted he was in love with someone else, whoever it may be. If my husband is out there saying that to anybody, I want to know about it. I get one life on this earth. You think I deserve to spend it with someone who's doing that? Oh, come on now. I feel like you have to tell your sister. I feel like she'd be so much more mad if she found out you knew and didn't tell her at the end of the day, you know? But he did update within that post a few hours later. So everyone that told me last night that I couldn't wait to tell my sister was right. I'm one of those. A little after 12 last night, I got a call from my sister and said that she is to tell me that my wife tried to begin an affair with her husband. Oh, he pulled the Uno reverse card on you. He tried to make it out to be your wife's fault. Sneaky little punk. So he tried to pin it on her. I told her that's not the case and I will be right over. So I get on the phone, I wake my mother and father, tell them what's going on, wake my youngest brother, tell him. My mom and dad head to my sister's to sit with their kids, and my brother comes to our house to sit with ours, and my wife and I head over. My sister's out on the front porch with my brother-in-law when we get there. He looks beaten, he knows we have texts and voicemail. I really don't know what he is hoping to accomplish. My wife gives my sister her phone. She sees the texts, listens to the voicemails, and he starts sobbing before she can say anything. My brother-in-law is a firefighter, a big tough guy, so this was a scene. My sister is pretty tough, so she tells him to stop it, pack a bag, and go. She can't even stand to look at him. There's more begging, but she has no patience for it. So my sister walks off to talk with my wife. I see them hugging, so at least I feel like they're okay. They've actually been good friends since college. I met my wife through my sister. So they are tight. The thought of this wrecking her friendship has been weighing on me. This leaves me with my brother-in-law. He is broken, so I feel more sympathy than anger. He says he is sorry, he just couldn't help it. It's not hard to fall in love with my wife, so I get it, but damn, man. He eventually picks himself up and he leaves, so we are there all night. My sister starts asking my wife why her husband would think any of this would work out. He had to have some reason to believe that she maybe felt this way. My sister says they hadn't been having problems. Everything was as it always has been. My wife is crying at this point and says there's nothing you haven't seen. She gives my sister her phone again and they read every text ever sent over the past 2 years. Nothing there. My wife was just herself. She has a playful personality and so does my brother-in-law, so they tease each other. She does the same to my mom and younger brother as well. The only thing she could think of was the moment in the kitchen this past weekend that he referenced. They both went for the fridge at the same time and they playfully jostled for who got there first. He let her win, but he reaches around her waist to get a beer slowly, and she did feel the way he did it was a little inappropriate. She says that she could have called him out on it, but didn't want to make it a big thing. She feels maybe the fact that she didn't gave him hope. My sister doesn't blame her, so at least that's good. So then my sister starts going through his MacBook to see what else she doesn't know about. She's angry and frantic at this point. She guesses the password, starts searching, and finds a lot of pictures of my wife on that computer. And here we go, y'all. Here we go. We are in the car. Y'all are in the passenger seat. We are driving down Cuckoo Bonkers Lane, and now we took a hard left and we're onto Creepy Road. I just know it. Oh, he's gonna be some he's gonna be an obsessive freak. They went back years and always isolated themselves. We had gone as couples to the Caribbean a few years earlier. My wife wore a bikini. She usually doesn't, but since it was adults only, she did. There were probably 50 of her in that bathing suit. So he's been secretly snapping these for years. Does this now enter restraining order territory? This has taken a creepy turn. Sure does. That makes me sick. Like sick. And you're seeing this man as like family the whole time. As the wife. You're like, ooh, you're like family to me. Ugh. We have some of the top comments because you know I want to know what people are saying about it. Someone commented, "You are not wrecking her marriage. He is doing that. You will be wrecking your relationship with your sister if you don't tell her, and you should be the one to tell her. Your wife should not be involved in that conversation. You don't want her to be a target of your sister's anger. Go to your sister's house in the morning. Do not warn him. Be straightforward and bring snapshots of those texts that he sent." The OOP wrote back, "I don't think my sister will be angry with my wife, but how do you not feel some sort of resentment?" Next comment, "The longer you wait to tell your sister, the more betrayed she will feel by you both. I understand taking some time to think through what you want to say, but you are giving him more time to come up with a story to make you both look like the bad guys." And look at that. Exactly what he did. Next comment, "Before he gets to spin the narrative and tries to make your wife the villain." Y'all knew. I didn't see that coming at all. That went right over my head, to be honest. We have an official update, which came the next day. But let's hydrate first. Hopping on hydration station. Cheers. This story makes me feel like I want to do a shot. I won't. Absolutely not. I literally will never, but not never. I gotta be honest. Oh, you son of a... My lipstick just landed open on the ground. There's hair. There's hair all over it. I think I picked it off. Ugh, gross. I just want to put it on the record that I'm not farting in any of my videos, okay? I might burp on this channel, but I promise you, I will not fart in front of you guys, all right? This chair is horrific. I can't move. I have to film like this. All right? All right. I've shared with my wife many of your comments. It makes her feel better that virtually everyone here holds her blameless. It makes her feel better, so thank you. Unfortunately, the mess continues. My sister agreed to talk to her husband last night and let him explain. She puts my wife on FaceTime during this conversation, so there will be no lying. I'm listening in as well, off camera. My sister is also recording the whole thing. He admits he's been obsessed with my wife for years. Well, you don't have to admit that. We know. It started the day he met her. My wife and I were dating at the time, but he met my wife before he met me. Like I said, my wife and sister had been friends for a long time, and my sister wanted to introduce her boyfriend to her friends. He thought it was only physical for a while, but over time, he knew that it was more. My sister nearly kicks him out right there, but listens a little more, and she eventually asks what made him think that my wife would leave me for him. He answers that there is obviously mutual attraction, and he figured it would begin as an affair and then things would progress from there. My wife and sister explode at that point. A lot of cussing, a lot of screaming. The phone call is over. My wife hangs up because at this point she is concerned for me. She is shaken and distraught and assures me the attraction was one-sided. I never thought it wasn't. Even if she did find him physically attractive, I know she would never act on it. She's just not the type. Early on in our relationship, she caught me admiring her as she was dressing, asked if I liked what I saw before her face turned cold, and told me never to F up or I would never see it again. Now that is the energy that we should all be having in this lifetime. She meant it. She's serious about trust. Anyway, I knew my brother-in-law was a little cocky, but my God, I never knew he thought that highly of himself to be able to pull off something like this. I talked to my sister later on, and she is contacting the lawyer Monday to see what steps she can take to limit his exposure to her kids. As far as she is concerned, he is detached from reality. That's all I have for now. I'll update once the dust settles a bit. And thank God we do have a final update. But let's get to comments. Where are people at now? I am concerned. I feel like he had this whole fantasy in his mind all these years of what would happen between them and the affair. He was probably fantasizing that affair for so long. Ugh. Someone commented, this update was explosive. He needs professional help. His secret fantasy became an obsession. So sorry this happened to your family. I'd worry that when his life all falls apart, that his obsession could turn dark. He could go from loving her to blaming her. Keep all evidence to get a restraining order. Fair point. Next comment. My wife and I were talking about this, and that's what we thought. He wanted to start an affair and go from there. There is no way to recover from asking your sister-in-law to have an affair if the feeling isn't mutual. You've torched everything. Incredibly high-risk gambit with a low success potential. But he would have done this sooner or later, with or without the kitchen incident. Yeah. OOP wrote back, he had made comments to me many times through the years that my wife was out of my league. I would just laugh and agree, she is. I guess he thought this gamble was not so high risk. Especially considering that he had already convinced himself that she liked him back. Next comment. Such unmanly behavior and so sad that a grown man has let down so many people who likely respected him, like this. The photos of your wife that he's collected over the years are another level of betrayal and creepiness. He's been exposed and his reputation in it tatters. And he obviously has disordered thinking. I feel like there's a fair chance that he may try to do something stupid as a result of this. people got some serious concerns here. We're moving on to the final update. This came 2 days later. This is likely going to be my final update as I don't see much more happening after this besides divorce proceedings. Thanks for all the comments. They have helped my wife with some of the guilt. Anyway, my brother-in-law returned home yesterday. Not because my sister wants him back, but because she can't legally stop him. They are done. I think he realizes that now. The lawyer tells my sister that since my brother-in-law's behavior over the past few days has been documented, there is a good chance she will be granted full custody. He doesn't seem to even want to fight her on that. My sister will be fine. Any love she had for him is gone, and she doesn't seem to be broken up about it. The kids don't know what happened yet, but my brother-in-law was never around much anyway when the kids were home. He slept at the fire station many nights and put in a lot of overtime. But it is certain to be hard on them once they know what's going to happen. Many commenters have said there must have been more women, but as far as she can tell, there hasn't been. It's really just the obsession with my wife. She has blocked his phone, but on the same night he returned home, he sent my wife an email from the account he just made. It started with an apology, but then took a turn. This guy don't know when to quit. He said he never got to finish at the restaurant that day. Then he went on for paragraphs and paragraphs about all the things he loves about my wife and the desperation he felt that led him to do what he did. He mentioned their mutual attraction again and the sexual tension that he always felt between them, and ended with a rather large section about me. Let's just say I didn't know he had such a low opinion of me. He was quite certain that I was not satisfying my wife properly. This whole thing is making me uncomfortable. Anyway, we sent the email to my sister and it will go to her lawyer. It might be enough to get him removed from the house. Finally, my wife isn't great, but she's doing better every day. She does blame herself for being too comfortable around my brother-in-law. She's always careful to set boundaries with other men. In case you haven't figured it out already, my wife is pretty stunning and gets a lot of male attention. But with my brother-in-law, she felt safe to be herself since he was family. Surely no lines would be crossed. She and my sister are cool, but there doesn't appear to be any resentment, so that makes me happy. We will all be okay. It will just take time. Now we have some other questions and comments that he responded to in the comments. I could have worded that better, but I don't care. Someone commented, so this guy was at your wedding? I wonder what he was thinking at the wedding, and were they already married on your wedding day? I didn't even think about that. He was probably so jealous. Psycho. OOP wrote, he was one of my groomsmen. He got very drunk, and no, they weren't married, but they were engaged. I'll be damned. I didn't even think about the wedding day. Someone else commented, what a bomb that he threw in to blow everything up. Please take steps to secure your home and car. Recommend a restraining order so you can't come around trying to explain or convince or apologize to your wife. Hoping your sister can do what she needs to be done and can move on to a better life. The OOP responded, I don't think my brother-in-law is dangerous, just conceited. The guy was quite the ladies' man before getting married and still got plenty of attention even after. His ego is bruised, but I do have cameras and an alarm. Next comment. Thank you for sharing this sad story. It has been helpful for me. My wife has been casually pursued by a married member of my club, and she is usually too surprised and modest to assume what he's after. When he first started, my wife thought it was just harmless banter, but I didn't, and I told her I didn't think so. As it continued, she finally realized I was right, so when I had to tell him to knock it off, she was relieved. It took 3 incidents for him to finally get the message. OOP wrote, my wife is mad at herself because she is usually so careful. She's had so many incidents when she was younger with guys that she was friendly to that ended up making unwanted advances. I think a lot of women can relate to that. I'm not saying men can't. I'm only speaking from my experience as a woman, that it's almost sometimes, and this has happened in my life, you give an inch and they take a mile. They mistake your kindness or just being nice as an advance or as, flirting or you like me. It's like, bro, no, I was just kind because you asked me a question and I answered kindly. And for some reason, you think I owe you something and that I like you. Anyways, let me know though, you guys, what you feel about this. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.